Single dad took a janitor job at a big office. He didn't expect the cold CEO to fall for him first. The elevator dinged on the 42nd floor just as Daniel Cruz clutched his janitor's cart tighter, praying the doors wouldn't open to anyone important. His sneakers squeaked against the marble floor as he pushed forward, head down, invisible. That was how he liked it. That was how it had to be. Daniel was 34, a widower, and a father to a bright-eyed 7-year-old named Mia who adored ballet and hated broccoli. After his wife passed from a sudden illness 2 years ago, life hadn't paused to give him time to grieve. Bills mounted, their savings vanished, and he took whatever job he could find that kept a roof over Mia's head and food in the fridge. That job, as fate would have it, was cleaning offices overnight at one of the tallest, coldest towers in Manhattan. Every night, as the city quieted and the stars flickered above the skyline, Daniel scrubbed conference tables, emptied trash cans, and mopped floors most people would never think twice about. He didn't complain. Not once. Not when his back ached or when he missed Mia's bedtime story. His daughter was his heartbeat. Everything he did was for her. It was on a Tuesday, the kind of rainy day that painted the whole city gray, that Daniel first crossed paths with her. Madison Hale. CEO of Hale Enterprises. Known across Wall Street as the Ice Queen. Some said she never smiled. Others said her veins ran with ambition instead of blood. Daniel had only ever seen her face on posters in the lobby or on financial news headlines when he passed the screens at the deli. He was emptying a waste bin outside her glass-walled office when her voice stopped him. "You missed a spot." Daniel turned, startled. She stood tall, statuesque, dressed in a slate-gray suit that matched the sky outside. Her arms were crossed, and her eyes, a sharp steel blue, pinned him. "Sorry, ma'am," he said quickly, grabbing his rag. She didn't say another word. Just watched him, then walked away. That night, Daniel found himself wondering what her life must be like. Did she have anyone waiting for her at home? Did she ever laugh? He brushed off the thoughts. She was just another floor he had to clean. But the next night, and the night after, their paths kept crossing. Sometimes she was working late. Sometimes she was returning from some gala or business trip. Always alone. Always guarded. And each time, she noticed him. "Why do you hum when you clean?" she asked once. Daniel blinked. "Sorry, habit. Helps me think." And for the first time, she gave a look that wasn't frost, it was curiosity. "You always clean like someone's watching," she said another night. Daniel chuckled. "Because I want to be proud, even if no one is." She didn't smile. But her eyes lingered. Then came the night Daniel's world shifted. He had gotten a call from Mia's school an hour into his shift. She had a fever, 102. He rushed to pick her up, taking her straight to the ER, terrified it was something serious. It was just the flu, but it left him shaken. He called his supervisor, asking for a night off. He was met with indifference. "You miss your shift, don't bother coming back." He took the risk. Mia came first. 2 days later, with her fever down but bills piling up, Daniel showed up to clean again, expecting to be turned away. Instead, he found Madison in the hallway, waiting. "You missed 2 nights," she said. "Unusual for you." "My daughter was sick," he replied, defensive. Something flickered in her eyes, recognition. Empathy. Madison stepped aside. "Come in." He hesitated, then followed her into her office. What happened next surprised him more than anything. She poured 2 coffees. "I was raised by a single father," she said quietly. "He worked 3 jobs. I didn't see him much." Daniel didn't know what to say. She looked down. "I remember the smell of cleaning products. It was always on his hands when he hugged me. That night, they didn't speak as CEO and janitor. They spoke as two people who had been shaped by loss, by love, by sacrifice. And in that late-night conversation, something shifted. From then on, Madison found reasons to stay late. And Daniel stopped avoiding her floor. They shared stories, about Mia, about Madison's childhood in Queens, about the loneliness at the top and the exhaustion at the bottom. Then came the day Madison showed up at Mia's ballet recital. Daniel froze when he saw her in the back row, dressed down, eyes wide as she watched Mia twirl with joy. Afterward, Mia ran up to her. "You're the office lady," she said, matter of fact. "I am," Madison smiled, kneeling. "And you're a star." Mia beamed. Daniel didn't know what to say. Later that night, Madison confessed, "I've spent so long being respected, feared even, but never known. You and your daughter, you see me." And for the first time, Daniel reached for her hand. She didn't pull away. Still, the world doesn't change overnight. Rumors started swirling around the office. Whispers about the janitor and the CEO. Some cruel, some curious. Daniel considered quitting. "I don't want to ruin your reputation," he told her. Madison looked at him fiercely. "You make me human. That's not something I'm ashamed of." But the real test came when Mia fell sick again, this time worse. Pneumonia. Hospital bills threatened to bury them. Daniel showed up at work with red eyes and a broken spirit. He didn't ask for help. But Madison gave it. She paid the bills quietly, through a wellness grant from a foundation her company funded. When Daniel found out, he was angry at first. Pride wounded. "I didn't ask for a handout," he said. "It wasn't," she replied gently. "It was love." And that word, so simple, so terrifying, hung in the air. Daniel softened. "You're not who I thought you were." She smiled, bittersweet. "Neither are you." Months passed. They didn't make announcements. No press releases. But slowly, steadily, they became a family. Madison learned to braid Mia's hair. Daniel learned to cook risotto. And Mia, for the first time in years, fell asleep each night with two people kissing her forehead. At the company's annual gala, Madison stood on stage, radiant in a midnight blue dress, and told the story of her father. Of hard work. Of invisible people. Then she said something no one expected. "We often measure success by profits, by power, by prestige. But the truest wealth I've ever known, is love." She looked at Daniel in the crowd, holding Mia's hand. And everyone looked too. Some rolled their eyes. Others clapped politely. But a few cried. Because they understood. That love shows up in the most unexpected places. Sometimes in late-night conversations. Sometimes in shared coffee. Sometimes in mopped floors and whispered lullabies. And sometimes, in the heart of a man who gave everything for his daughter, and found everything he never expected. The story of Daniel and Madison reminds us, kindness doesn't care about titles. Compassion doesn't check your paycheck. And love? Love doesn't read resumes. It just shows up. Bold. Unapologetic. Transformative. And when it does, it changes everything. Forever.